I'm Annie Spindler, the founder, executive director for Elderflower Care Community. People often ask me, what's my motivation for starting this project? And I can pretty much narrow it down to one person. Mary Jane Grimes, my grandmother. Grandma Grimes was in her 4th nursing home in 5 years. I would visit her and I can still hear the incessant beeping heart monitors and machines. Social time featured wheelchairs lined up in the hallways and folks slumped over, almost comatose. I would think to myself, why can't they just, at the very least, bring them outside so they can feel the breeze and listen to the birds, be in tune with nature? I met one woman, seemingly with cognitive decline. She would walk up and down the hallways all day long. She seemed fairly content, but again, I thought to myself, why can't she just do that outside in the grass? Maybe it's convenient for overworked and underpaid staff to contain people. In the elder care industry, nurses, the most compassionate people in the world, often experience compassion fatigue. Some are too burnt out to fully care. But do we really want to be contained? After we live these full lives of joy, connection, companionship, and community, what do we deserve after all of that? To be free, independent, honored, and loved. Grandma Grimes loved to be outside. Her favorite thing in the whole world was to swim in Lake Michigan and watch the sun set over the glimmering waters. She had 9 children, 20 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Mary Jane was widowed at the age of 60, but losing her husband didn't slow her down. She went out and got an education and then got a master's degree. She traveled the whole world, volunteering, being in community, and in service to others, particularly nonprofit organizations. She was never alone. She loved having people around her celebrating life with her. Grandma Grimes had immaculate nutrition habits, always ate whole food, homemade meals. At the age of 80, Grandma Grimes was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. She went from independent living to assisted living and then to 24-hour nursing home care. Her connection to community, her independence, and her healthy lifestyle habits decreased. She had to eat the most flavorless processed foods. I would go visit her and I would feel lonely and isolated even myself. And I would ask her, Grandma, do you have any friends? Realizing that maybe not all older people want to be friends with just older people. Where are all the young people? Every time I would leave my visits with Grandma, I would cry. She's just stuck inside all day. Wouldn't she rather just be outside and listen to the birds, feel the sun on her skin? There has to be a better way. But how? What would that look like? I developed this idea to bring community back into the nursing homes. Not for monthly visits, not for Christmas carols, but every single day, bringing in young people, plants, animals, good food, good people, great music, life, and love. To Grandma, that was community. I am building Elderflower for our elders, and I want to know what community means to them. So I sat down with my friends Bill and Patricia, and I asked them, how can I build this for you?
And here, now that I'm with a bunch of elderly people, most people have inflammation, aches and pains, and nobody exercises either. I was in deep, deep depression before I met you, being tortured by the wrong diet and lack of exercise.
What would you say your life would look like in 5 to 10 years if you could choose?
I just want to be able to sit with people who follow the same diet, the same love of nature, that would give me big, big pleasure.
The ability to get outside and be part of that kind of scene, I think, would be marvelous, which is a very important part of planning a retirement or a care community.
My desire is to be able to sit out in a garden, hear birds, maybe hear a stream, but the birds singing. And I just read an article that said old people, that's what they want to hear. I would love to walk in the woods, smell the earth, touch the trees. You can feel energy in those trees if you concentrate and just stand there and listen. And that's what I would like to do.
Maybe a little bit of active meditation or just reflecting on that. Have an opportunity to be mindful and actively able to be mindful. That's a way to get to joy.
My favorite time watching the sun coming up, sunrise and sunset. And then I would be content just sitting there listening to birds, doing some reading, listening to some music.
Yeah, and for me, music. I listen to music and enjoy it.
I would be content with all that.
Exercise, preferably every day, 10,000 step thing.
And just to communicate with nature. Mother Nature feeds my soul.
Oh, in terms of just enjoying the food, the taste, and the freshness, and so forth.
Oh, plant-based food, I'd be glad to experiment with that. Fresh fruit is the best.
In terms of being close to the ground, in terms of knowing where it came from, that would be great.
Would be nice to have a big piece of property and have all kinds of rescued animals. My love for animals is unconditional love. Goats? Yeah, really? You would really have goats there? How nice it would be to see them eating the grass instead of hearing a lawnmower going. Even a pony, a donkey. And if there are little elderflower children there, to see them ride a pony, that would be fun. I would be happy there. I just know calming influence, kindness. Kindness is so, so important.
And one of the goals of meditation is something called loving kindness and compassion.
And you are the kindest person I've seen, and gentle person.
If you have the impulse to do it, if that's arising as a motivation for you, then that's to be honored.
And Annie, you could change everybody's way of thinking. Believe me. Peace, quiet, contentment, and Annie smiling at me. And I hope to see, if I'm there, Annie's last smiling face as I say goodbye.